I've dealt with more bullshit from black people than I ever have from any white person. Matter of fact, black people have caused me more hurt in my heart than any white person ever has. Instead of us worrying about how white people are so racist, because a lot of us don't even interact with them on an everyday basis enough. I'm 31 years old. I have never experienced explicit racism in my life. I have never walked into a room full of white people and felt uncomfortable because I'm black. I have never went to a job interview and felt like I wasn't going to get that job because I'm at a disadvantage because I am black. I've never felt inferior to anybody white. I don't experience them enough. And anytime I do, they're awesome. They're great. But you know who's not? The black girls who used to bully me.
Welcome back to Young, Black, and Wealthy. We're about to delve into a topic that I'm sure is going to get a lot of black people in their feelings. First of all, let me say this. This video was not created with the intention to entertain white people or other racial demographics. This video was simply created to provoke thought, to have us to maybe take a moment to take a look inward and find out, is it things that we can do to change our communities, to improve them, to change our destiny, to change the trajectory of our families? That's all. And so don't get upset. Don't get mad. I do want you to comment your thoughts below, whether you agree or disagree, whether you're neutral. Before we go further, I would kindly ask you to give us a thumbs up. It helps us get our content out to more people, and it also helps us to continue to build our community. Let's dig in.
I was at school. That's who's not. The black girls who used to run me up to my goddamn grandma's house crying because they didn't like me when I wanted to fit in. That's who. The black people who no longer want anything to do with you when you've made it to a certain point in your life because they think you're being too good. The black people who ask you, why do you talk like that? Do you think you're white? That's who. The black people who banged on us when we walked to the store minding our own business and beat up on one of my cousin's friends. That's who. The black girl who stood outside and was trying to jump me because I was talking to a family friend who I grew up with. And guess who was all outside waiting to see me get jumped by 13 girls?
Let me guess. Black people.
Black people. That's who. Instead of us worrying about what white people doing, we should be worrying about how to fix our own people. We should be worrying about how to love our own people. We should be worrying about keeping our young boys off the street. We should be worried about protecting our daughters. We should be worried about keeping the black man in the home. I don't want to hear shit about what a white man do. What do the black man do? What do the black preacher do? It's white people fault that your son can't read at grade level, huh? Because it's the system. They out there, get my son. It's white people fault that you can't sit for 10 minutes, 20 minutes out your day to pick up a newspaper or a book to read to your son. It's white people fault, them white people. That's what I want to know. I don't give a fuck about what y'all saying about white people. I don't experience them enough. Fix inside the house. Look in the mirror.
Preach.
You
That's
are
true.
throwing stones. Fix yourself. You are a people who hate its own people. Black people do more damage from within their own community than anybody ever did. Baby, the KKK kicking back, they ain't got to do shit because you're doing enough. I don't want to hear shit about what white people do. What do black people do? Black people are the most dysfunctional people on the face of the earth all over the world. I don't give a fuck where the black person comes from. And yeah, we can go ahead and tie it back. Oh, well, that's because the white people divided us. It's always white people fault, huh? It's 2024. It's white people fault that your son went down there and killed another black man, huh? It's white people fault that your uncle went and molested your daughter, huh? It's white people fault. It's white people fault. And then if you don't think like them, then you a coon and you want to be like white people. Get white people, man, out your head, baby. Get white people out your head. White people are quite literally living in your head rent free, and I'm tired of it. Maybe I need to go get me a white husband. Please.
Okay, Young, Black, and Wealthy family. Listen, she cooking. She definitely delving into some topics that might sting a little bit. They might hurt. But are they necessary? I think they are, especially at this point in our sojourn here in America. First of all, shout out to this creator. I found this video on TikTok. I follow her. Her name is, I believe, She Just Be Yapping. And I seen this video and I'm like, man, this particular topic has been on my mind as well, very heavy, especially during this election cycle, because black people continue to focus on just racism, identity politics, which I feel like keeps us in a place to where we're losing because we're putting our trust in so-called people of color or black politicians. They get in office and do just like their white counterparts, in most cases, absolutely nothing for us. But one thing that I do know is that liberals and the progressive agenda as it relates to black people is to continue to keep us focused on race and oppression, racism and oppression. And so what that does is that prevents us from actually taking a look at ourselves and taking accountability for our own actions. Because remember this, and this is very important, that the powers that be, those that are in power, and when I tell people this all the time, don't just think that it's white people because it's black people that's with them. It's Asian people, it's Latino people. Just look at the makeup of it. But these people literally benefit and profit off of our dysfunction, off of our separation, off our disunity, right? And so they keep us focused on everything external so that we won't take the time and sit down and focus on what's important, which is ourselves, because truthfully, our destiny is in our own hands. At the end of the day, I grew up in the hood. I've never seen a white person in a hood walk through my community. No white supremacists walk through my community. In this video in the background, I don't know what city this was. This was recently. They had some type of a white supremacist group walking around on a street. Looks like a big street. I don't know if it was Georgia or wherever. And this had black people all in their feelings. But how often do you see things like this in your community? Because I've never seen it in my community, right? When I walk outside of my house, and this has been all my life growing up in the Midwest, either in Chicago or the Chicagoland area, I've never been worried about whether a white person was going to jump out of a gangway and attack me. I'm never worried about that. It's the people that look like me. Because one thing that I know is that the people that are often the people in my neighborhoods, they're not white people. They're black people. The reason why our families are broken up, we have all of these broken homes, these single mother led homes. Who can we blame that on? Do we blame that on white people? Or do we blame that on ourselves? Do we keep talking about the system? Because if we hate the system so much, then we can create another system. If we hate the educational system so much, then we can come together, have two parent homes again, and we can educate our children with inside our homes. We can do it. I can't stand the corporate media because I feel like they're biased and I don't feel like they report on issues and matters that actually affect the American people that the American people that would be interested in. I feel like they're basically just a mechanism of control. And so I said to myself, I'm going to start my own media company. It might be small, but I'm going to put out the news that a lot of people are not talking about. I'm going to focus on thought provoking topics, right? That cause people to act as opposed to putting out trash like other news outlets do and outlets like the Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, and others. And that ain't no shot at them. But I don't want to. You're not going to find strippers and things like that and all type of filth and degradation on Young Black and Wealthy's media outlets page. Not unless we're reporting on a particular issue, but we tend to not even focus on trash like that. But at the end of the day, if we want to improve our communities, we have to start with ourselves, self improvement, and then we can move outward. But we can't expect white people to improve our neighborhoods. We're giving them too much power over us. And it's all mental. Nobody's stopping you from homeschooling your children. Nobody's stopping you from creating your own business. I'm not saying that it's easy. It's not. It's not easy for the average white person either, or Asian person. Nobody's stopping you from creating the next tech invention. Nobody's stopping you from studying medicine and coming up with the next cure for this or that. Nobody's stopping you from trying to attempt to keep your family together. It's us. And we need to stop focusing so much and giving so much power to white people and give that power back to ourselves, take personal responsibility, and change our future, change our present and our future, and stop this bickering and stop this complaining because these people have a playbook for us. And this playbook has really kept us in the same place, or it has caused us to decline in many areas because we're worse off in a lot of areas. We have more money in a lot of ways than we ever have, but we don't have any wealth, right? We have all of these houses, but we don't have any homes. We don't have two-parent homes. We have all of these people in these relationships and things of that nature, but we don't have marriage. We have high rates of divorce. And so we have to think long and hard about what we want our future to be like and get to work building that future and stop handing all of your power over to others and expecting others to do for us what we can do for ourselves. That is the key. Not bitching and moaning about racism, white supremacy. Especially, I hate to hear men talk like that. I can't stand scared to death Negro talk. It's time for us to step up as men. It's up to us to handle our business and start saying, well, you know what, bro? Let me go talk to Lil Chris and Lil Pookie and them on the corner. Let me grab up the shorties, man. I know they call themselves beefing and they war. Let me try to put a bug in their ear to try to prevent them from doing something stupid that's going to destroy their lives and the lives of their families. And some of them have children. So some of them end up dead because of these beefs. And the other one ends up in jail. So we have two families destroyed, two fathers destroyed, two fathers gone from the home. And so we got to do better. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Love y'all. Not trying to take shots at us. I love us. And that's the reason why I talk about these particular topics right here. I personally am not handing over my power to no other racial demographic. I know it's up to me. And I'm going to take personal responsibility and handle what I need to handle. Love y'all. See y'all in the next video. But before I go, if you want to support this channel, the best way that you could do that is by liking, commenting, and sharing with others. And if you're not a part of our family, hit that subscribe button and join the Young Black and Wealthy family. See y'all in the next video. God bless. Don't forget to get a family a hug for me.